Good morning, Mandy. This is Tom. I'm just about to set up, well, I'm going to take you through how I set up every day. Okay, every day when I sit down, I try to be calm and relaxed and prepared to lose. If I lose, prepared to win, that's okay. I just try to keep my personality nice and calm. I've brought up the Forex economic calendar. That's the first thing that I do. Make sure that I've got the right date. And I look at when the next news releases are going to take place and what they are covering, and particularly how volatile or how much impact that might have on the market. We can see the Reserve Bank of New Zealand Governor Wheeler. He's going to be speaking in 1.5 hours time, so that's going to be an important release. And what that means to me is that perhaps half an hour before its release and up to half an hour after its release, it's going to have an impact on how price moves, particularly the New Zealand dollar. Okay, so Australia is also well connected to New Zealand, so that might have an influence on the Aussie dollar as well. So that's in 1.5 hours. Okay, so that's the first thing that I like to do. Secondly, now I've just brought up my trading view charts because they're a little bit easier for me to show you things. Over here I have my watch list. At the moment I'm looking at GJ on the 1 minute chart. So I want to see what's been going on. It's Wednesday, all right. I've got, let's just remove these and I'll just put in some new ones. So what these are my support or resistance lines. So I'm trying to find across this chart where price has been rebounding or rejected, and we can see one right off the top of these ones here. So I'm going to go to that position there with the thought that we're probably in a range from the top of this candle down to these candles here. Okay, so I'll keep that in mind. I'm looking for as many touches as I can possibly get. So if I bring it down to here, I've got this candle, and yeah, I'm happy with that. At the other end of the scale, we have another one down the bottom here. Now you can see where price has been shifting up and around it and come back. That's the only touch, and it's quite a distance from where the current price is. So I'm going to try and find one a bit closer. So that one there, again, we're not really seeing too many other touches around here. So I might take it up to that position there. That seems like a fairly solid support. Okay, see where price has been touching these here. There's obviously an area of interest to the market at 139.801. All right, good. Now, just while we're on this, see this position here, 1500. I will also watch that position because they're big numbers, and they have a lot to do with how the market reacts. Okay, now we can see down the bottom here where the stocks are starting to cross. So we're starting, this is a great position to take a call. The area that I would be quite concerned about in terms of like a resistance would be where my MA7 line here is, because often I find price reacts around that. Okay, so that's our weekly chart. Let's go into the day. Sorry, there's a bit of noise behind me. Okay, so we can see where we've put that line. Okay, and we can look to the left to see other if there's any other indicators that might show a strong resistance. Now our day it looks like yesterday was a very bullish day. We came up to that Bollinger, had a little bit of a drop, and it looks like we're on our way to a bullish day again. So let's just look at a bit of a trend line. So I'm going to my previous high over here and just drawing a line in there, okay? Now that position there is an area that if price breaks through, we're going to be in a bullish period, okay? So I'm just looking at the top of this candle here and the top of that candle, because all of this took place and we've got a little triangle in here, okay? So if price breaks through this area here and shoots up, we should be on a reasonable rally up back into this area here for the next month or so. Okay, now that's our daily. Again, I'm looking for support and resistance areas. So I'm looking for candle areas where prices come down. Put one in here. I'm looking across. Not seeing too much, although we've got a bit of a touch here. Bring it down to this one. Again, not seeing any touches. So there's nothing reliable in there that I'm happy with. So I'll go to the other end of these candles and I'll try and find preferably where prices come down and also prices come up and touched. So that's definitely not one of those areas. So it's quite hard to find on this daily. So we'll just bring that price over, that line over there, and we'll go down into a lower time frame. Okay, the 4 hourly seems to be one that generates a fair bit of interest. Okay, now we've got this line that we've put here that had no science behind it. Got a couple of touches here. Prices come back and tested. Big candle through, come back and tested. Shot on down, came back up, rejected, back down, and then boom, big candle up. Okay, so that position there is in a position of interest for me. So if price comes back down, I might have a look at that. Another one that I'm seeing here now is down around here somewhere. If I can get a couple of touches on the bottom of that candle, and you can see across on the left why I was interested in that. Okay, look at that. So I would say that is a very strong support. So we don't need this line here. Okay, let's bring it up to the top of price. Now looking to my left again, I've got an area here, across here, and there that is of interest. So this one looks to be a bit of a range. Okay, I'm going to go with the top of this candle here for that resistance. Now what I'm looking for is areas where price will touch and come back off. Now depending on how quickly that arrives, etc., will depend on my duration of the trade that I'll take. Right, let's move down into the hourly. So I've gone week, day, 4 hourly, and hourly. Now, right, we've got this area here where prices come back down and it's popped back up. We know from our previous analysis that we're looking at potentially a bullish day. Okay, so we're going to need a big candle that's going to take us through that. We don't know when that's going to happen. Price might come back and retest this support, or on the Tokyo opening, which it is now, it could just burst on through. So whoops, just bring that back. All right, So hopefully this is making a bit of sense to you. Now I can bring you into the 15-minute, and let's see how we're doing here. Some big candles up. The market's been very quiet of late. We've got a bit of a perhaps a bearish looking candle over here, and price should come back down and test that MA7. So that's the 15-minute candle. There's still 9 minutes left in that candle. So thinking about this candle here, if that said to me it was a bearish one, I would wait as long as I could to try and get the end of this wick for the remainder of the 15-minute candle. Okay, so finding this position here would be a great trade, and if I look across, it's the similar height to these ones over here on the left. A lot is told to us by what's going on the left. Okay, right. Okay, now down to the 5. Cool, nice little, not much going on there, and into the 1. Now I prefer to trade the 5. Okay, on the 1 minute chart we're starting to see this bullish movement, but on the 5, it's showing. Okay, so we could do a trend line in here. Now I think I'm running out of time on my recording, so I hope you have had there's some interest in things that I've mentioned here. You'll notice how I've done that particular line. I'll just adjust the bottom over here, and I think we've got a nice little diagonal resistance there. Now I do that with all of my charts. Okay, you would have seen from my screenshots last night that I used different charts. Okay, but this one here is often one that I'll use for my Forex as well. But that's how I go about starting my day, and I do that with all of the pairs or the currencies that I trade. Okay, in another video I can tell you a little bit more about what I see when I look at these candles, whether I'm interested in trading them or not. Looking at this AU, there's some huge candles and then some small ones and spikes and things like that, and why trade it? Leave my money in my own account and come back later. So that's just a little bit extra and off the topic a bit. Okay, so hopefully you find that useful. If you have any questions, let me know, okay? And I can talk through particular topics in a smaller, shorter video, shall we say. Okay, take care of you. See ya.